Hello, hello. Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven. It's Friday, and that means it's Friday night TV and movie talk. Joining me on is one of the review crew, Chocolate Dreams. Only he's not wearing brown, so how could he possibly? I guess you're mint chocolate.
There you go. It's movie time.
It's Chris Hall, folks.
hello, everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, and it's been kind of a crazy week. Yeah, we weren't sure Chris was going to make it this week.
Yeah, I got another dog scratch, and every time my dog scratched me or my cat scratched me, it just turns into an infection, and it's just not good stuff. So, but I'm on antibiotics. All good.
Okay, so yeah. Just don't pass out on me.
Nope. I'm all good.
I see you got a new microphone on the side there.
Oh, I've had that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my professional Shure microphone. You could hammer nails with that mother. It's that good. It's that well made. So
okay, well, it's the first time I've seen it off camera. Yeah, but that's because I guess you've been doing a lot of your stuff through your phone anyway. So
no, I've had this microphone since probably a couple of months after we started doing podcasts. So
yeah, it's just I never saw it. That's okay.
Oh, yeah, it's a pretty microphone.
Yeah.
Of course, it's
soon it'll be time to do the karaoke hour, won't
it? Right.
Anyway. Our show this week is on Terry Gilliam's debut as a solo director, Jabberwocky from 1977. And it doesn't want to share the dang screen, of course. Why would it do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you silly machine. There we go. All right. I'll let you read.
All right, this is Jabberwocky from 1977, directed by Terry Gilliam, written by Charles Alverson and Terry Gilliam, based loosely on the poem Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll, produced by Sandy Lieberson, starring Michael Palin, Harry H. Corbett, John Lemesurier, Warren Mitchell, Max Wall, Annette Badland, Rodney Bewes, John Bird, Bernard Breslaw, Terry Gilliam, David Prowse, Neil Innes, Deborah Follander, Terry Jones. Production companies were Python Films, Umbrella Films. Distributed by Columbia Warner Distributors. Release dates were March 28, 1977 in London, and April 8th, 1977 in the UK, and April 15th, 1977 in the USA, with a running time of 1 hour and 46 minutes and a budget of $1,022,550. Yeah, sorry, that just threw me there. In a box office of $835 million. Wait, no, that's 1,000. Oh, okay, so it didn't make its money back. Yeah.
All right. What it's about: in the dark depths of the Dark Ages, a carnivorous monster ravages the domains of King Bruno the Questionable. Life carries on as normal in isolated villages, in one of which very innocent young Dennis Cooper pursues a career as a cooper in his ailing father's workshop. Mr. Cooper Sr. despises his son for valuing profit over craftsmanship, and when his illness becomes terminal, he publicly disinherits Dennis in an abuse-ridden deathbed speech. Humiliated, Dennis decides to travel to the kingdom's capital city, establish a new career, and then return to marry his love, a local woman named Griselda Fishfinger, who doesn't reciprocate his affection at all. While trying to say goodbye to an inattentive Griselda, she throws away a rotten potato, which Dennis catches and keeps as a cherished memento. She loves me. She loves me.
That was fantastic.
King Bruno City is full of terrified refugees from villages destroyed by the monster. The only people pleased with the situation are a cabal of rich merchants selling overpriced goods to the refugees. None of the overburdened local craftsmen will listen to Dennis's suggestions for improving efficiency, and he struggles to find work or food. Meanwhile, the king has decided to send a knight against the monster and organizes a jousting tournament to find the best warrior for the job. If successful, the knight will be promoted to prince and married to the princess, who lives in a tower, wishing a true prince will arrive and marry her. A man named Ethel, squire to the knight of the red herring, befriends Dennis and gives him a meal. Misunderstandings ensue, and Dennis finds himself fleeing from a tavern keeper whose wife Ethel seduced. He seeks refuge in the tower where the princess, in a great feat of wishful thinking, takes him for the adventuring prince disguised as a peasant and takes the potato, thinking that he has brought it to her as a love token. Oh, it's quite, it's mindless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dennis is too bewildered to explain the truth, but he does convey that he's already has a lover. Yeah, right. And the princess sorrowfully lets him go. She lends him a nun's habit to use it as a disguise, which then leads into a run-in with a group of religious fanatics who believe he is Satan in the disguise of a nun, or possibly a nun in the disguise of Satan. They can't make up their minds. The joust continues and grows increasingly bloody, and Pesselry, King Bruno's chamberlain, worries that all the knights will either end up killed or incapacitated. So he convinces the king to call off all the fighting and instead pick a champion based on the outcome of a game of hide and seek. Red Herring emerges victorious. Ethel wants to stay in the city and pursue his affair with the tavern keeper's wife, so he bullies Dennis into taking his place as squire, and the huge and dim-witted knight appears never to notice the difference. In order to continue profiting from the crisis, however, the city merchants hire another warrior, the Black Knight, who rides to the monster's lair and assassinates the Red Herring. And he's about to kill Dennis as well, but the monster appears, a horrific dragon-like biped, and the Black Knight is compelled to fight for his own life. After a titanic struggle, he appears to slay the monster, but it revives and knocks him off a cliff to his doom. Dennis accidentally then slays the monster when it trips and impales itself on the sword that Dennis is holding while cowering, and Dennis then cuts off the monster's head and brings it to the king and is credited for the exploit. Griselda is now more interested in Dennis now that he's a hero, but he never gets a chance to marry her because King Bruno is questionable, keeps his word, and Dennis is given half the kingdom. He's married to the princess and is swept off to his honeymoon and an uncertain fate.
Yeah, did that sound the least bit? Did that sound interesting to you? Did it sound like a good movie? Well, no, not at all. Not in the least.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, what a snooze fest. The film has none of the charm that the other Monty Python's films has. It turns out that although it was marketed as a Python film in the US, that was against Gilliam's wishes. It probably really hurt the film's reception too, because this came out just after Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail, which everybody knows is the best movie on the face of the planet. This was because it was just Gilliam writing with Charles Alverson, and so it has kind of an odd, dry humor that's in British vein, but it's not funny at all. Whoops. Hit the wrong button there. I'm not sure how to put it. Lewis, you mentioned it being because Gilliam's American.
Yes, he's the only American member of Monty Python. And Americans, we just don't do dry humor very well.
No, we don't. Not at all.
And so when you don't have the rest of the crew really inclusive in the script, you're going to have it is dry humor. It is in the British vein, but it's an Americanized version. And American humor is very blunt, very crass, comparative to dry British humor. And
Yes.
That's what the film has. A lot of blunt, crass humor. Such as it is. So that's what I was getting at there.
The pacing is rather odd, and the film could probably have stood to shave off another 20 minutes, but at the same time, it follows the beats of the story of the poem, and it's based on almost perfectly, which is fascinating but torturous to endure, in my opinion. Michael Palin is okay, but again, it's not really a Python movie, and you don't have Cleese and the other components of the troupe to really make it work. This was Gilliam's directorial debut as a solo director, and I think that while there's a lot of respectable stuff going on, he was getting his feet under him. We wouldn't see good stuff for a few more years when Time Bandits debuted in 1981 and Brazil in 1985, perhaps ironically written with the same co-writer as Jabberwocky. It was just a really hard, rough watch for me, and I found it weird, boring, and extremely disappointing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really am. I was hoping, we don't like Terry Gilliam, right?
Right. We expected it to be funny and have some, cool moments, and it just had none of that.
Like you pointed out, it's sort of weird, dark, outright mean film. Again, there is a touch of the dry British humor, but it is more crass and Americanized. There's a lot of themes in the content that it's carrying both societal and political subtext to what was going on in both America and the UK at the time in terms of how jobs and family name and prestige afforded you certain opportunities or the lack thereof, and how the political landscape had dramatically shifted in both countries during that period. Woke.
Right. But that's what Python does, but it had none of the humor about those subjects, in my opinion.
Yeah. Instead, it had a lot of snark instead.
Yeah.
And Python doesn't usually do snark. They make light but directly insightful observations and then mock the shit out of it.
Exactly. That's what they do best.
And this was just snark. There was nothing light about this film. It was very dreary, depressing type of film where Dennis is just stuck in this weird, hopeless, falling upwards to success throughout the movie, basically. And the themes of commerce and capitalism and the governmental bureaucracy ruining society are very blatant, and today would be considered too woke by audiences if they watched this for the first time, I think. You agree?
I 100% agree, yeah.
Yeah.
I went into this expecting a light comedy and expecting Monty Python, and there was no Monty Python.
By the end of the film, Dennis gets everything a fairy tale hero would want: recognition for killing the beast, the princess's hand in marriage, and have the kingdom by accident. All he wanted was to live a humdrum life with an overweight peasant girl who doesn't even like him. This is very much a statement of what most of us want in life, as in we just want very ordinary existence with someone to share it with. We're not looking to be the hero, not to be rich and powerful, but Gilliam plays both extremes to the middle for the humor of it, but it becomes more of a tragedy than a comedy when you stop to think about it. And because of the more crass, brash American quote-unquote dry humor, I think most people are going to look at this at the surface and find it unfunny like you did, and missing completely what Gilliam was aiming for. Not the fault of you or the audience, mind you. You were told to expect a comedy in the Python tradition. You expected that style of comedy based on the writer and director and who was cast in the film, and that was not delivered. So it is what it is, right?
As far as, if I had to compare this to another film, like where I went in expecting something and got something completely different and disappointing, I would have to say Popeye with Robin Williams.
Wow. Okay. Is that so? You were disappointed in Popeye too?
I was, because I went in expecting just like comedy humor, and it wasn't that.
It wasn't.
That movie. It's weird because Popeye, of course, is a cartoon strip, and so a lot of the audience was that audience, younger, and we went into that movie, and it was not a movie for kids.
Yeah, right. I see what you're saying there. Yeah,
right.
Okay, Chris, you only gave it a 1 star.
Yeah, this was. I'm sorry, guys.
You were heartbroken, apparently. Somebody has bent you over their knee and whooped you.
I think the Avengers ripoff got a better score than this that we watched.
Scary. I'm not sure. I'll have to go check that. Let me confirm that real quick. Oh my goodness, that is a. Oh boy. Friday. Let's see what group was that we did that. That would have been. Nope, that's not it.
Maybe I gave that one a negative star. I'm not sure.
I think you did, but I'm trying to find it. It's been a while since we looked at it. That is that one. What was the week that we did that one?
I don't remember.
That's Doom. Huh. I must be missing some. Because I'm looking at it in the old files, and that's not it. That's not it. Huh. I don't know where it's at, but it doesn't matter. It's in the file somewhere. I'll find it another time. But
right.
Yeah. It was kind of a sad thing that we only gave it this kind of a rating. I gave it a 3, mostly because I appreciate what he was trying to do, and I knew what he was trying to do when I was watching it. I knew it wasn't going to be Python. So because I was aware of that, I guess I had a different expectation of the film. But
we watched The Avenging, what was it called? The Avenging Guardians 4 weeks ago.
Right. And I'm trying to figure out where that was. Whoops, that's not the right place. 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That would have been like 620, right? No.
It was
6/6.
Where is the date? June 27th.
June 27th. It was the one before Hellboy. Okay.
Yeah.
You gave it a...
I gave it one.
You gave it 1/10 of a star.
Oh, 1/10 of a star. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I'm the one who gave it the negative 3 stars.
So, congratulations. The Jabberwocky is better than the Avenging Guardians.
Avenging Guardians. Oh, wow. Which is kind of still scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I gave it a 3 basically because I appreciated some of what was going on. It made me think about what the message was he was trying to convey in the political subtext of what was going on at the time. Because at that time, I was 5 years old. It would have been over my head.
Right.
I have to look at it as, okay, now looking back on it with perspective and retroactive, awareness of what was going on at the time, it's actually quite clever. And that's why I gave it a 3.
Okay. Fair enough.
It is what it is. And that was our film for tonight. Next week, we decided that it's time to do some documentaries about comics and other media. This is one I hadn't seen yet, and you've only watched part of it.
Right.
But you figured it would be a good topic to discuss. And it's a good follow-up to the recent review, Hellboy, The Crooked Man, which was from, I guess, not June 27th. I thought it was June 27th that came out. But I don't know. Let me look that up again here. Fridays.
And it pretty much cements that while Mignola is a legend in the comics industry and an amazing artist, he is a curmudgeonly old fart who doesn't like people.
Right, that's July 11th that it came out. So we talked about Crooked Man on July 11th, 2025.
Right.
Just remember, let me put that out. There. That way you know to look for, which one to look for.
There we go.
The reason that I thought it was June 25th though was because the way I have the front pages, which don't always show up on the folders right, it looked like it was the 25th was the Hellboy. So
I see.
27th one. So anyway, there you go. Now, next, first off, tomorrow, you're talking about Superman and some other stuff on your station with David Campiti, and your guest is Will Conrad.
Will Conrad again, because Will is actually staying with David right now for a couple weeks. So we thought, why not take this opportunity? And we might have another surprise guest. Depends on how he's feeling. He's a bit under the weather right now, but if not, then we will have another surprise guest.
Mm-hmm.
So tune in for that.
And the topic will be the Superman movie.
Yes, because when the day Will got at David's house, they were like, David messaged me. He's like, Will is dragging me out of the house and wants to go see Superman right now. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And then after we get done with the podcast at 1, they're going to see Fantastic Four.
And then you'll be back to talk about Fantastic Four.
Yes, well, I'll have to go see that one, but I'll have to make the sacrifice and go to my movie theater, which has giant heated reclining seats with big tables and Tuesday is $6 a night, so it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'll have to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, and they have teenagers feeding you grapes, right?
Yes, they do. oh, great boy. Call me great boy.
Oh man.
Or should I do it like, oh, great boy. Come, great boy. I need another grape in my mouth.
Oh man. Do you have any idea how much sexual innuendo you're doing right now?
Oh, I know. I'm well aware.
Okay.
Come put one of your luscious grapes in my mouth.
Oof. That's not good, boy.
Tart, anyway. Plump, and sweet.
Okay, enough. Anyway, next week, Monday, no show because I've got 2 doctor's appointments, one for the dad and one for the cat. So I will not be doing Monday manga until August 4th. But Tuesday, our special guest for Crowdfunding Industry Talk is a legendary Kelly Jones, and we'll be talking about his Dracula Volume 2 that he's collaborating with Matt Wagner on, with colors by Jose Villaruba. Is that correct?
Yep. Jose Villaruba, yep.
And we'll be talking about that and of course, other things that Kelly has done in his career. And that will be probably 8 p.m., I think, on Tuesday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then next week on Thursday, there'll be more than just these, but Apollyon 20XX, Volume 1 and 2, Biofile Kolga, Volume 1. Chris will finally get to review that Toxic Avenger comic, I hope.
Yes. Yes, I will.
Kaijus and Cowboys, the Volume 1 trade paperback, collecting the first 6 issues. Guardians of the Last Dragon #1, Cryptology #4, Eerie Magazine #2, and more, depending on what all Chris has. Because I know only what this is Chris has so far is the Toxic Avenger, and he's behind on some of his reading.
I'll find something, and I'm gonna be doing a GoFundMe for some shin guards, so my dogs can't scratch my legs anymore.
Really?
No, but I'm gonna be getting some shin guards.
Yes. We're going to take you over to the sporting goods store and buy you some catcher's guards.
Yep, that's what I need.
Yep. So, is that where they scratch you, though? Is in the front of the leg?
Yeah. Yep, because Oliver likes to, when he wants to go outside, he does this, paws me.
Mm-hmm.
And his nails get my legs every time, so.
Alrighty. I don't know what's going on with our cameras tonight. You froze and I went blank and had to go back to my black screen, but oh well. Weird. All right. So that's next week on Thursday. So again, in 2 weeks, that'll be when we do the August 4th for January 2nd. Our Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 2 will be August 4th, 2025. That's when we'll talk about Monday Manga next. So if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for movies or books you want us to review, you can reach us at Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, X at LewisBrightRaven2, or you can email me at quothravenlbr72@gmail.com. And if that doesn't work, try LewisBrightRaven@yahoo.com. You can see more of my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. See more of Chris's art at deviantart.com/fatboy73. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven exclusively on YouTube. And again, tomorrow it's Glass House Throwing Stones.
On YouTube, yep. Will Conrad talking, and me and David talking Superman, among other things. So there can be some portfolio reviews. It's going to be a good time.
All righty. And that'll be at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, then. Well, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. And happy belated birthday to Grant Lankard. That's another reason why I'm wearing your Beowulf shirt.
Oh, okay.
That, as well as I don't have a Jabberwocky shirt. Who has a Jabberwocky shirt?
I was telling Raven earlier that he needed a Nukkalevi shirt.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Everybody loves the Nukkalevi.
Yeah, whatever.
Have you ever played A Bard's Tale?
A Bard's Tale.
Yeah. Video game.
Yeah, it's the 80s.
Yeah, and he fights the Nukkalevi.
Okay, I'll have to. Let's talk to me more about that after the show.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, that's all for tonight, folks. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. Quoth the Raven. Nevermore.